Hello again, YouTube. I'm afraid it is me. I think I'm getting addicted to vlogging. I must have a very addictive nature, because since I've started vlogging, I've stopped biting my nails. So, I think in general I have a vlogging addiction. I have just got out of the shower and I'm settling into bed for the night. Got my leopard print pyjamas on. Well, my leopard print pyjama top, my bottoms are different. And I wanted to talk about fear today. Fear gets me every day. No, that's wrong. Some days. I will be honest and say since about the age of 19, I've had a pretty healthy fear of death. And I still have that today. I can't remember the name for it, but it's there. I can remember having panic attacks when I was younger about it. I can remember when I lived in my flat with my ex, I would freak out over the fact that one day I was going to die. And it genuinely scared me. What really makes things silly is that I have religion, and one of the bases of my religion is life never ends. It's like science. Energy never stops. It just changes from potential to kinetic or to heat. It just changes. So I know that when I do die one day, I'm sorry I'm getting morbid, but when I do go one day, I just go into the next life. But I think it's that change that frightens me. With everything that's happened recently, it has really brought out the worst side of me. I would go to bed at night thinking, I'm not going to wake up. I'm going to go in my sleep. Every now and then, I think it again. I suppose it's normal, even if you do have religion, to have a fear of death. Nobody likes that kind of change. So that is one of my fears. My next fear doesn't seem to be bothering me as much as it used to. I used to have a pretty big fear of spiders. I think I actually got it from my mum, because my father had no problem with spiders, but my mum hated them. She still hates them. If she comes across a spider in her house, she makes my stepfather take it out. But I did really fear spiders, which for someone who kept her bike in a shed outside, that was quite scary. The problem was, if a spider came near me, I would kill it. That's bad. As someone who believes that all life is equal, it was not fair that I was killing them out of fear. So, with what has been going on, I have made a promise that I will not kill any more spiders. I may tell them to go away, I may run, from them, but I won't kill them. And other than one slip up in the last 2 months, I've not had any problems at all, and I've come across a fair few spiders. The reason why I say used to fear is I no longer fear them as much. I mean, I wouldn't pick one up, put it in my hand, but if there is one next to me, it doesn't bother me anymore. I don't know why that is, but I am still afraid of them, just not anywhere near as much as I used to. I have a fear of heights. I do not like getting off the ground floor of anything, really. I've been on the occasional roller coaster. I have been off the ground, but I've been very nervous about it. People have mentioned, oh, if you get to France, you've got to go to the Eiffel Tower. When me, Emily and Izzy went to Blackpool, they were talking about going up the Blackpool Tower, and I refused. I do fear heights. Added to that, I don't have a fear of planes. I have a fear of being up. Of course, when you're in a plane and you're flying, you're very high up off the ground. So that's another thing I get scared about. There's one thing that I always say: I can swim, but I can't fly. Which is true. If I had a choice between plane and boat, I would take boat every time. Because I can swim, but I can't fly. There is my biggest fear, which is what's going on at the moment. I talk about it so much, but I suspect everybody does. And that's the Marks and Spencer's disease. What I can't get is, my body's been in this world for nearly 29 years. For the first 28 and 2/3, September, October, November, more than that, for the first 28 years and 10 months, other than getting a cold or tonsillitis, I had a UTI once. That was a couple of years ago. At least I think it was a UTI. I was treated for a UTI. But yeah. I found out recently, I thought I was born breech. I thought I was born bum first. I cracked jokes about it, how I entered this world arse first. But my mum told me the other day that I wasn't breech. Apparently, when I started coming out, I was. But they pushed me back inside, and Mum remembers the pain of this. They pushed me back inside and they turned me. So I was actually born head first. So my birth was normal. My growth wasn't, because of the things that were wrong with my legs. When I was growing in my mummy's womb, my legs were crossed and they were turned inwards. So because of that, my legs grew turned inwards. I think the modern term for it these days is pigeon foot or something like that. I can't quite remember. It's got a name. I think official scientific name for it is tibular, fibula, or something like that, adversion. It just means that you're not born with your feet sticking out straight. They're curved inwards. I didn't have any surgery for it. That was offered, but it was turned down. I had lots of physio. I learned to swim at a very young age. And I got out of certain sports activities. I couldn't really run long distance because I would trip over my own feet. The physio and my teachers in my primary school were a massive help. My right foot still turns inwards a little bit every now and then. It's just one of those things that I can live with. But my growing up, I started getting big at about 12 because of family problems. But nothing else happened to me. Tonsillitis was a pain in the backside, but it was livable. I think that's all the ailments I've had in my life. I haven't really broken many bones. I've been in a couple of accidents, but my physical injuries are quite limited. I've had a brick thrown at my head that has resulted in some of my long-term memory to go. That was a long time ago as well. I've fallen, I've crashed. I've been in a couple of car crashes, one being on a bicycle. But I was unusually lucky. So what I don't get is, for the first 28 years and 10 months, my body was pretty much behaving itself. So I can't understand how my immune system has been sat there nice and happy, behaving itself, doing what it needs to do, fighting infections, viruses, helping me get over the common cold. I even stopped having tonsillitis a good long time ago, just didn't attack me anymore. I don't think I've had flu for ages. I've had swine flu once. No, twice. I've had swine flu twice. And I've had norovirus twice. But they were all gone within a week, I think it was. So I don't get why my body's now deciding to attack itself. What changed its mind? I get scared about what this could mean. People do tell me that it may not happen. Yes, I'm aware it may not happen. As I have said before, if 100% of people who have had a CIS attack / benign MS were definitely going to have another attack, then multiple sclerosis wouldn't need to be multiple. It would get diagnosed on the first attack. Of course, the only problem is there's not a lot of people that only have that one attack. I don't know what the numbers are, it's never been published. I mean, you look at the 2.5 million number of people who have it. What about the number of people that just have the one and then never get it again? What's that number? You know? as a bit of reassurance. I mean, if the chances of developing MS vary between... That's my cat Jinjin, by the way. Jinjin! There he is. That's Jinjin. He's obviously going, "Shut up, Mum. You're a good boy." This guy is a little trooper. He's a rescue. But he is my little Jinjin. And he is very vocal and very amorous, as you can see. So, what is that number? The chances of developing MS from CIS vary between about 20% and I think it's 60%. People with no lesions, so if they have, say, if they go to the hospital and say have blurry vision but there are no lesions on their brain, then I think the chance of developing MS at that time is 0. So 20 to 60%. Hello, push, push, push. Yes, Jinjin, no, there's a chance that I may not develop it. So, for every... I can't work out the maths very well, I'm afraid. But, for every 100 people that have a CIS attack, a maximum of 80 will develop it, and the lowest number of 40 will develop it. Quite a big gap. Quite a big bracket. It's hard to fathom. I must admit, when I've sat and planned my life out, well, no one ever thinks about this, do they? All these people that get cancer, all these people that have strokes. I read recently, I think it might have been today, the number of people that get a stroke in the UK every year is 150,000, I think. That number may be wrong, but I know it's a number that's gone up a bit. And I mean, I know you can't see the future. I heard a very good piece of advice today on an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. Someone said, "You can never go back. All you can do is move forward." That is a very sound bit of advice. But if I could go back and change this, I suspect there's a lot of scientists that would want to talk to me. A lot of professors. I can't go back. All I can do is go forward, which is what we're doing right now. Everyone in the world, they are going forward. It's an escalator. It's a wheel that only goes in one direction. Can't go back. But I am scared of this. I'm scared of what could happen. There are wonderful people who have told their stories. People who have lost the ability to drive, lost the ability to walk, It's quite scary thinking that one day you may wake up and not be able to get out of bed. That is scary. I know not everybody with Marks and Spencer's ends up in a wheelchair. And I know, and I've posted about this before, there are things that you can do to stop that from happening. I'm a very impatient person. I suspect all of my friends know that. A classic example of this is my sight changed on the 8th of September, and I am aware it can take a while for it to come back. It may not even come back altogether. I should be lucky really, because there's one sufferer who lost his vision and only got 30% of it back. I have got most of my vision back. An eye test has confirmed that. I've got another eye test coming in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, Monday the 25th. And I got to get my eyes checked again. I guess they just want to see how my eyes are doing. I can still see the blind spots. Doesn't help that there's a towel on my head. Hang on. Right, let's try and see these blind spots. They are still there, but I think they're starting to fade. They're not as black as they used to be. They're pretty grey now. Yes, blind spots are still there, but they are grey instead of black. That's a good thing. That means that whatever damage there is there, it is getting better. Worst comes to the worst, they're up there. And I'm looking up, I'm not looking straight ahead. If I look straight ahead at the wall, they're there. So, if they go back to what they used to be, that would be fantastic. Might get some medication for it this time. I've been told that when someone has an attack, they can be given steroids to help repair the damage. My neurologist won't give me steroids because he's worried about the side effects. He thinks that my sight will heal by itself. I'm impatient because it has been 2 months and 3 days since the attack. Most of my vision is back. The double vision that's happened in the last couple of weeks is a pain in the ass. The general focus has not come back. I mean, I can see outlines. What I'm basically saying is my sight is not back to what it used to be before this all happened. I didn't need to wear these all the time. So, I don't know whether it's going to keep getting better. Someone did say it took 7 months for his sight to come back to the 95% that it was. So, what I'm hating about this is the majority of this is waiting. I'm signed off work, sick at the moment. I'm not being signed off again. I refuse. I've been off work for a couple of months now and I'm going nuts. So I'm going back to work on the 8th of December, come hell or high water. I'm not staying off work. It's bad for me, and I miss the work. I'm hoping that this eye test on the 25th of November, it will either say, yeah, your sight's getting fantastic, better than it was, or it's going to say, okay, your sight hasn't changed, or it's going to say, your sight has gotten worse. So, I will either be able to take these glasses off and not wear them as much as I need to. I will still need to wear them for visual work and reading, but at the minute these glasses are on my face pretty much all the time. I've got nothing against glasses, but I should have chose a better set of frames. Just as nice as these are, they keep slipping down my nose. Or I need new glasses. I mean, Nick wears glasses all the time. He looks good with glasses. He wants to get his eyes lasered. He's lucky that he can get them lasered. I'm pretty sure laser eye surgery won't fix my problems because there is nothing actually wrong with my eyes. It's my brain. The grey squishy thing that's sat in my head right now. It's so weird. Part of my body was attacking me. Just changed its mind one day. What did I do? Was it the spiders? Was it the killing of the spiders? I can't blame the gods for this. I know there's going to be people here watching this that are not religious, and they'll be like, how can you believe in something that did this to you, did these things to these people? Natural disasters and things like this cannot be stopped. The world can never be a 100% shiny, happy place. There will always be bad things. It's unfortunately what makes life fair. But that is fear. I fear for the future as well. Especially now, I fear for the future. What's life going to be like? What's going to happen to this? It just pops in my head every now and then. But that is fear. I am now going to probably do another positive video. I'm trying to balance things out now. For every negative video I do, I should do a positive video. So that's what I'm going to do. Because if I do nothing but depressing videos like Marks and Spencer's disease and everything else, I will turn into a very, very depressed person. And I've had my fair share of depression these last few months. That's what the medication is for. So I'm going to end this now and think about something positive to post. So I will end this video as I end all videos and say thank you for listening.